Welcome back to It Caught My Eye. We got several interesting stories for you this week. Do you want to go first, Julie?
Well, sure. Do you remember when we took the turtle walk?
Yeah, the other day.
I talked about the White River Monster in Arkansas. And that is up in northeastern Arkansas, northwest of Memphis, a little ways. And this was a river monster that they spotted back in 1937. And they described it as looking like a big catfish, but with horns. So catfish don't have horns. It wasn't a catfish. They began celebrating it again in 1973 when they saw another sighting.
Oh, okay.
But they have these river monster festivals and the river burgers the monster burgers at the local restaurant and things like that.
So they hyped it up a bit.
Yep. So we have a river monster up in northeastern Arkansas, which I never would have suspected.
No, and I believe, well, you got to think of it. Is the river monster, or do they just want to sell monster burgers?
That's the thing.
That's,
There have been over 100 reported sightings of this, however.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that is pretty good.
So is it real? Is it not? We can go up to Newport and sail along the river and find out.
Yeah.
What you got?
Well, my first one. This is an interesting one I also mentioned in the walk that we did, but absolutely fascinating. This is to do with a psychic that predicted a train crash on British Rail in England in 1983. And this is from Train of Thought. This one blew my channel. Yeah, great channel. And he was saying that apparently an oil tanker hit a passenger train on a set of failed points.
What? Wait. An oil tanker?
Yeah, there was a train
A train carrying oil.
Yeah, an oil. Yeah, oil.
This is the anniversary of the wreck of the Edmonton Fitzgerald. So I'm thinking of tanker boats.
Oh yeah, done railways. Right. So
on.
An engine pulling oil tanks hit a small passenger train on a failed juncture. And what had happened was a woman had actually written in to British Rail and told them that this would happen. And she even said the locomotive number, which would be, and let me just have a look at my notes here, 47216. So that would be the number of it.
Now, how far previous to the accident did she have this train?
2 years.
2 years?
Yep. So what actually happened 2 years later was one of those Class 47s with oil tanks on it went across these failed points and hit a small passenger train. She got everything correct except the number. The number of the engine that actually was in the accident was 47299. And you might think, oh, well, she did well, but she got it wrong. Here's the twist. British Rail took her seriously, and they renumbered the engine from 47216 to 47299. Before
It was the actual number of the train, but the
same locomotive. Yeah, I just thought that was absolutely fascinating. Now, the thing is, people were saying, oh yeah, but that story only came out of 3 or 4 months after the event, and it's like somebody's made it up. But my whole thinking was, probably not in a way, because would you expect the railways to, to actually say, oh, we've been in touch, Psychic's been in touch with us, rename all our locomotives and renumber them. Yeah, you wouldn't, would you?
But that's amazing that they took her seriously and changed the number of the logo, and our still was the same one.
And apparently, she'd written in a few times, and she'd been right. And this is why they took her seriously, and that's why they renumbered that one. And it still happened.
Wow.
So I carry on with the next one.
Absolutely.
Now, we'll have to check my notes here, so apologies. But this was Reality Check with Ross Coulthard and his friend Megan O'Rada, who asked him questions and the answers and whatever. Now, she was missing for about a week or 10 days because, not missing anything, in a weird way, she'd been to Santorini in Greece. She'd had her own UFO experience. Apparently, her and her husband were watching the sunset, and she saw something in the sky. It looked to her something like a ring light. It was just stationary. It was there for 20 seconds, somewhere like this, and then kind of blinked out. And this is quite fascinating because a lot of people now say, oh, you're just seeing Starlink satellites when you're seeing things going with the sky. This thing was stationary. It's about half a mile away and half a mile up. And that is an interesting case that someone you would think would be quite balanced, knowledgeable, would know what to look for because she works with Ross Coulthard, who's got a good name for himself in those circles, actually had her own experience. I just found that very interesting. And to look something like a ring light is, again, different.
How many of you have had some kind of UFO experience or thinking you did? We've had several.
Yeah, please do write in the comments and tell us what you've seen.
Yeah.
I'd be particularly interested in things what are both historical but also more recent. You know, we've had the UFO flap in the northeast, and we've seen our own. Well, we've seen a drone kicking around here. We've only ever seen it once though, but it went down the side of our small lake. It stopped and it came back again. I have no idea what that was all about. But interesting stuff. Your next story.
There is a girl, an unknown girl, that they had to move her. No, actually, they did not move her grave when they built the interstate. She is buried on the off ramp onto the interstate near Cersei.
Yeah.
And people say they see this little girl on the road, the ghost of a little girl. And she's unknown. They don't know who she is. And they just buried her, was part of the graveyard, I guess. And when they built the highway, they just kept her grave there. And they said, you can visit it, but be very careful because you're on a main highway.
Sure enough, yeah, you don't ride to another horse, do you? You know, you got to agree, you might go wandering around.
Yeah, you might be the next little girl wandering on the highway. But that area, we're going to hit that one.
Yeah, there you go.
We're
Yeah.
going to hit that.
Let us know if you want to see the, videos from that. That'd be, good to know.
Well, it's not like we won't show them the videos from there.
Yeah, but we got more interest in it if you do want to see that.
Yeah.
Right. Well, my next story is very interesting. I'm very happy for you. You might know of Dr. Beatriz Vilerole. And what she's been doing is she submitted a couple of papers for peer review because she was looking at slides from the 1950s of the sky from telescopes. And she was noticing there were objects which shouldn't be there because this is before even Sputnik.
Back in the 50s, yeah.
Even before Sputnik went up. And she was noticing these objects which were reversing, and she needed at least 3 frames to show the thing was moving in the sky along. Multiples of these objects have been seen. Now, she's not saying the UFOs, not outright, but she's saying there's something weird was in the skies, was in space before satellites went up. And her 2 papers have been accepted now. I thought that was wonderful. So, it opens up a proper scientific debate about what may have been and what may have been in space before satellites. Fascinating.
Also, could there have been interstellar objects that they just did not know what it was that is?
It's interesting. I might just mention this now to follow on with is that, with the government shutdown and the lack of images from the from the Mars observer and things that go around Mars, they should be great pictures. Oh, we haven't seen them. And I wrote that out as a point to make on a Caught My Eye about a week and a half ago when it went past. And yet they're still not released any images. So why would be the question?
Government shutdown. I suppose they can use it as an excuse.
It is, yes, that could be 100% the reason. It could be 100% the reason. But you have to wonder if there's some malarkey going on, don't you?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you do. I think, some closer images and they've seen exactly what this thing is. It just should be a rock.
Yeah.
But if Abby Loeb is correct and there's a little more to it,
There's so much going on, speculation. And
well, this is a point I'll leave a link to, is there was a fella got the most recent images they could, and they seem to be something egg-shaped in the middle. So
yeah,
that is fascinating as well. So put that picture in as well in this video.
the pictures with all the colors that show that I think, what are the colors representing? Heat or?
I couldn't tell you. I'd have to check. I can't say outright. We'll have to leave a note about that.
We did put the picture of that in our Turtle Walk last video. So if you want to check that out, don't be afraid to go look at our other videos.
Yes. Don't be afraid, people.
And finally, I have what's going to bring us on to our next video.
Okay.
We saw this on Slapped Ham, and I had to look up the original video. And it's Danny Jones Clips is what it's called.
Oh.
And it's...
Sorry, I was just going to say, if you don't know who Slapped Ham is, welcome to the earth.
Yeah.
You've not been here before.
Right.
Anyway, sorry, carry on.
Danny Jones Clips, and he is interviewing a woman who can see things without her eyes.
Oh, yes.
And we're going to be trying this because she suggested if you want to try this, if you want to learn how to do this, start with a flashlight.
Mm-hmm.
And just she had on, and I'm going to put it on the Manta sleep mask. And if any of you have that, you know that is a complete blackout mask.
Julie actually has one.
I have two.
Yeah. Okay.
But they were holding objects, and they were holding cards with images and stuff on them, and she would nail it like that. And up here, she said she could feel a window, like at this part of her head where she could see. And if you move things around, there were certain parts of her head where she could see things better.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to try that. Last night, I did get a couple of them right.
Yeah, we have a little pre-go, and yes, especially I had the flashlight on top of your head, and you said, "Oh, all I can see is there's a light on the top of my head."
I could feel it.
Yeah, she didn't know which direction because it's supposed to be directions, but I thought, no, I'll put it straight down onto her head. And yeah, she said, I don't know because I can just see a light on top of my head. I went, yep, you got it.
Yeah.
So it could be interesting. Do tune in for that, as they say, or they used to say on TV.
So yeah.
For those just tuning in.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks very much for watching. We will be up here for the next video.
Oh yeah.
And please do like and subscribe.